Kansas City.
Oh, what's going on? Paul.
Got knocked out.
This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen.
You do it.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Dumbest Damn Chief Show again. Wait, what did I say?
What?
Okay.
You forgot period.
Hello and welcome back to the Dumbest Damn Chief Show, period. I'm Pat.
Spin dip.
Jordo.
I'm Dan.
Again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Episode 94.
4. So who's your favorite 94?
Terrell Suggs, Super Bowl year.
Okay, but he wasn't a Chief.
Yes, he was.
He was 94 for the Chiefs?
Uh-huh.
What?
That's the most
I forgot that he was a
that's
Chief.
the most recent
He got
one.
a ring as a Chief?
That's the most recent one I can remember.
I totally forgot
94.
that. Do you remember
Sizzle.
that?
Yeah, Super Bowl year.
He had
Wow.
like 22 and a half sacks one year, but not for
I don't
us.
remember any other 94s.
John Browning was 93. Sally Amua?
Yeah,
Wasn't
that's what I
Junior
was
C
thinking.
of E 94?
Probably.
I think he was.
Probably.
Was he the one that had a spit hood?
Spit Hood. He passed away. R.I.P.
Junior C of E?
Pretty sure.
What?
I'm pretty sure he passed
I
away.
feel like
Wow.
we need that's easily verifiable. We need
Check.
to.
Well, Jordan's looking that up. Let's introduce Dan.
Hi.
From you might know him from other shows like Ghost Runner. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
died almost a year ago, January 13th of 2022 in Leavenworth.
Oh, in prison?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, fuck. That's sad.
Yeah.
What was he in prison for?
I don't
Like, has he been in prison since they put him in a spit hood?
I mean, he had a rough life after that all
that
happened.
is terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, this
well,
took a turn.
Speaking of terrible.
Anyway.
Pat Mahomes' ankle. Let's
Yeah.
pivot there.
Let's just dive right in.
Okay.
Um,
Last week, Pat Mahomes' ankle.
Right. So I was watching from a bar in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Sitting right in front of me was a Jacksonville fan
Oh, boy.
in a Lawrence jersey. Just couldn't have been happier.
Yeah.
And then he played.
Yeah.
And then we won. And he turned into a prick.
What was he doing?
He's just a drunk douche.
What was he, like, he was mad?
Yeah, like, I mean, and it doesn't help that we were sitting there egging him on. Like, Travis Kelce scores that touchdown with Henny and just sitting there like, oh, that was too fucking easy with
Yeah,
our backup
yeah.
court. I mean, we weren't exactly
That had to be the
helping.
most deflating.
98 yards.
Yeah, did you hear what Kelsey said about the ball?
No.
He tossed it into the crowd. That was Chad Henney's first playoff touchdown.
Was it really?
Yeah, so
Oh, no.
he's on social media trying to find it back now.
No, that's gone.
No
gone.
way.
It's also Chad's first touchdown of any kind in this millennium.
Yeah.
His last one was in 1999 in Michigan.
I always got kind of wigged out when a team would, okay, we're just going to go and sign a 37-year-old journeyman as our backup quarterback. But now it makes a lot of sense because when you got a guy in that situation, you probably don't want a 24-year-old Shane Buechele as the other
Right.
quarterback. So, you know, he doesn't get a lot of reps. He doesn't get any game time. And the time we need him is the most critical. And he
Right.
goes in and just orchestrates a 98-yard
Right,
drive.
You want a guy who's already put that time in elsewhere.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, this guy should never buy a beer in Kansas City ever again or a steak, and he can stay here for as long as he's physically capable.
So that drive is what gives me hope going
98
again
yards.
against the Cincinnati Bengals. 98 yards, no Mahomes. So, like, we're going to have some kind of Mahomes, and we can go 98 yards.
Yep.
Because they need to run the fucking ball, potentially. Mahomes isn't going to be able to throw the fucking ball or run the ball himself,
I mean,
potentially.
I don't think he'll be running, but I think he will be mobile. Like there are going to be scrambles out of the pocket.
I've seen the videos of him in practice. He looks better than expected.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Did you see the?
I've been
the spread?
examining them as well.
The spread yesterday went from Bengals favored by 2.5 to Bengals favored by 1 because he practiced.
Just because of that.
Just because
And I
of-
feel-
him-
People saw a
him
video of
walking
him
off of that
walking
stage.
on his own power.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. That's a point and a half.
Have you guys seen people, I think they're calling it ankle gate,
Oh, people that thought he was like
this is all fake.
like playing it
and,
up.
And like,
There are people who think he's playing it up, that it's fake.
Who was it? Skip Bayless, of course, he always has the best insight, said like he does have like a penchant for melodrama. Clearly, that's what all the circus throws
yeah,
are all
because
Play?
yeah, Andy Reid, the best play he's going to call against the Bengals was when we were playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But in that vein, I do feel like the Chiefs are going to use this to their advantage because honestly, Cincinnati doesn't really know. You know, they may have been game
Do they
planning
have
for
to
one
prepare
thing, so
for
it's
Henny?
like, well, is Andy going to play some mind games with them now about what he is and isn't capable of doing? I mean, for all we know, everything that I've heard, it ain't going to be that much different. So
Do they do an injury report for playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
full participant in all of it. But I feel like that Andy is going to have a way to use this to his advantage.
Wait, are you saying?
Well, I mean, is he listed
That
as
he's going to be more
questionable or
mobile than we
anything?
all think.
I
And
think
they
it's
know
the other way
that.
around.
I
I think it's the other way around.
You think it's? I think that he is healthier than we all think at this point, and he's going to look different. He's going to look better than we think he's going to look.
I think people are thinking he's going to be more mobile than he will be. I'm on the opposite side
Okay.
of you. I think people actually are expecting him to be able to move around quite a bit.
But
the
either
dude was
way-
hopping on one fucking foot.
Yeah.
Routinely.
You want him 100%. You
And
want,
with Toradol
Oh,
in his system,
of course.
and fucking adrenaline,
But-
and ankles only get worse.
Yeah, but
in the next 48 hours.
do you think there's anything in the game plan now on the Cincinnati side where they have to kind of rethink how they're going to defend him?
Here's how I think the game changes significantly. Mahomes, the way that you defended Mahomes coming into the season was you drop everyone in coverage, you rough 3 or 4, and you just make giant clouds of human being that he has to fucking pass through, and then you get a rush with 3 or 4 people. If you can get some success with that, you can beat the Chiefs. That's exactly what the 49ers did. Our offensive line was terrible, and then they just fucking
Buccaneers.
butt-fucked Patrick
Buccaneers.
Mahomes. Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So that's what the model was. Then Mahomes started doing at the beginning of this year? Running. Like there was a 4-game stretch where he fucking ran 70, 80 yards every game and was leaking out and gashing people. And then he does what? He starts throwing little leak passes out to fucking number 1, and now he's got, a touchdown record with, an average target of like 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. That all changes when Mahomes can't run. When Mahomes is not a running threat, they can drop fucking 8 in coverage, rush 3 or 4 again, and hope to get a pass rush because they know Orlando Brown Jr. is our left fucking tackle. So we have to run the ball successfully, or Mahomes is going to have to sit back there and play perfect, high percentage Alex Smith ball for 4 quarters. That's how it changes the game.
Don't like that at all.
But running the ball
Yeah.
is super doable.
How we win this game is no turnovers. We have to get pressure from our defensive line and get to Burrow.
special teams.
Yeah.
And I think special teams is part of that. But, and we have to protect Pat. If we can
Yeah.
do those things, I think we win this game.
Or just feed Pachinko.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's-
Yeah.
If he rushes
Check
for
it, yeah.
120 yards, we win this game.
I think we have a better rushing offensive line than we do a pass protecting offensive line. Like our interior can move shit, and I think that our tackles are better at run blocking than they are pass
Isn't
blocking.
their O line pretty
They have
banged up?
Yeah, they're fucked too.
They have 3 starting guards, starting left, and starting right tackle all out. And if the Chiefs were smart, I don't know if you guys watched much of that Baltimore game when they played them before they went their first game in the playoffs. Baltimore got to Burrow a ton. He was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just was shocked that Buffalo didn't do it more last week.
Yeah, what was up with that?
But it was a
Well, they were without
slippery field. They
Vaughn.
didn't have Von Miller. I mean, I guess in Buffalo, that is their pass rush. I didn't really notice it, but they don't really get to the quarterback outside of Von Miller, and that's their own fault. I think the Chiefs' defensive front is going to give them some problems this
You
week.
also,
Chris Jones against backups?
you got to keep in
Yeah,
mind though
what?
that Joe Mixon had a game this season where he ran for 4, or he totaled 4 touchdowns. So that's a weapon that they've had in their back pocket that they have not been using most of the season. So that could be a wild card depending on what sort of defensive front the Chiefs want to bring.
They haven't seen Kadarius Toney yet.
Oh, okay.
They also didn't. We also didn't have Joe Tooney in that game. So, look, there are variables when we played them earlier in the year, but what ultimately came out of that game was we turned the ball over when we had it won. That's
right.
it.
And I
That is
think
it.
flawless play is the key.
Yeah, and they haven't.
Especially on special teams.
They have not. In the last 3 games that we've played them, I think they've turned the ball over 1 time.
So just play perfectly is the plan?
No,
Play Marty ball.
Cincinnati's
I agree with
held
you.
the ball and hasn't made any mistakes. So, God,
Are you saying they're due?
I think the shoe's got to drop at some point.
I feel like the Chiefs have a tendency to force that on teams. Like you'll see teams that generally don't make a lot of mistakes, and they do against the Chiefs.
And
for
at
whatever
home.
reason.
And
Yeah.
at home.
I know you guys don't care about that, but I do.
It matters.
I do in
It
this
matters.
case. I
Yeah.
do in this case.
Yeah, throw some nickels in your aluminum beer bottles, everybody.
What does that make it louder?
Hell yeah, it's like a baby rattle.
Oh, really?
Oh, good call,
I've
man.
never even thought of that. Have you guys
I
ever
took
done that?
you guys- I like
remember
it took you guys a couple
classic
seconds to
slap in the
catch
back
on.
of the seat.
Yeah, they changed those seats. They're not nearly as loud
Wow,
as
yeah.
anymore.
I hated the cowbell teams in fucking high school football. You know what I mean? They were always
Yeah.
banging a
Clinton, Warrensburg.
Oh my
Oak Grove.
god.
I had one of my best games against Clinton when they were doing that. There wasn't much cowbell ringing,
Yeah.
and he's gone.
Well, let's talk about the fact that we have been owned by Cincinnati and how much it's going to suck if we get owned by them more. Is that how you guys are going into this, or are you guys feeling?
I don't think we're owned when they won here one time by 3 points, where we completely shit the bed in the second half, and the other two games were
Mahomes
there.
is 0-3.
Okay, great.
Okay, but
the
last
total-
season, that was classic Andy Reid taking his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
The total point differential is 9 points. So it's not like they're blowing us out. And new year, new me, baby. It's 2023.
Get out.
Yeah, that was weak. That was weak. I'm incredibly nervous and insecure about it. I just don't want it to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because on the other side of that is the fact that we've made 5 straight AFC Championship games, which is we're the 3rd team in the history of the NFL to do that, which puts us in dynasty fucking mode, right? And if you go to a 3rd Super Bowl, like the only dynasty we're really chasing at this point are the Steelers and the Patriots if we win a second one.
Right, but if we lose this one, we're dangerously close.
We're
to being-
0-4 to the fucking Bengals
Then we're
in
the
the last
early
4
90s
games.
Buffalo Bills.
Right.
You know, we're closer to that than
Well,
we
we
are to the
did-
Patriots.
That's true. Are we? We got one.
Yeah, we did
We
get
got
one.
one.
That's a threshold. That's like in Donkey Kong, when you get enough bananas that you don't have to go back any further and once you get to
Okay.
the point. That's
But
like
it's also-
that point.
all
You
I'm
can
saying
never
is
recede
that-
back to the 90s Bills.
That is closer to failed dynasty than it is to dynasty.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of that, did you guys see the video of Tom Brady, Andy Reid,
Yep.
and who was the other guy on a podcast this
Yeah,
week?
I don't know who
What?
the other
Really?
guy was.
Where they were talking about Pat and the injury, and then Tom was talking about how, look, that's a champion's mentality. Just, commending the fact that he was cutting it out.
You mean cussing out Andy Reid on the fucking sideline?
basically, yeah. But then I read today that Pat and Tom are close. Like, they talk.
Really?
Yeah. And he's been obviously not coaching him, but I guess
Like mentoring him.
mentoring him through this week and talking to him pretty regularly.
Why?
Okay, but
Tom has been on record and said the only guy that's ever going to come from my record is that one. And that's,
well, I think we all believe that too.
yeah, but no, Tom Brady has agreed
Right.
with that.
Right.
And I guess that they talk a lot.
Yeah, but
I don't
Favre
feel good
did that
about
with
that.
Romo, and that didn't pan out.
Bill Russell used to have Wilt Chamberlain over for dinner every time he came into town to play the Celtics, and people say that gave him a psychological advantage over Wilt, making him think that they were friends, and then he kicked his fucking ass.
Well, if you're an NFL quarterback and you have to pick a wing to be taken under,
Yeah. If
Yeah.
this were 10 years
You
ago,
could do
Pat,
worse
I'd be
than Tom
concerned
Brady.
with that, but Tom Brady doesn't have many left, so I think
Yeah.
it's okay in this
All
case. He's
Yeah,
a
have you
fan.
heard-
I
There
want TB12 rattling around in PM
I don't-
15
I don't-
ears.
I don't think that's
there
the
are
case.
apparently 3 teams vying for his services right now.
Who, Tom's?
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
yeah,
Jets,
including the Raiders.
Oakland,
The
Raiders.
Raiders would be dumb not to.
Vegas. Yeah.
Well, that's where everybody goes.
Yeah,
to
the Jets
retire.
are also looking at Aaron Rodgers. So
Keep
I
looking.
The Jets?
feel like,
Lord.
yeah, the Jets have just given up on the quarterback position. Like, we cannot draft a quarterback. Let's just go buy one.
Well, they should. They don't have one there, so.
What are they going to make Wilson a backup or cut him loose?
You just give up on that.
Just
one.
get-
yeah.
You know, that's a losing hand. Just toss it.
Piss poor attitude.
Where are you guys at on playoff Frank Clark? Do you think it's
Love it.
real?
Fucking
Does it
love
Frank
it.
is a real thing. I think it is.
I think it is. Every time
not at all.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You don't have that mental image when he planted the flag in the middle of Arrowhead
That
after
was
we
how
won?
many years ago was that?
I
at
just-
this point? 4?
I don't care if he's doing it.
2023.
That's
That was
when we won it.
2019.
That's when we won it.
So
What was his
that
like,
moment has
statement
graduated high school.
after last week? Do you guys remember that? Like there was something that
It was,
was
they're like,
going
who
around.
do you want? And he was like, I don't give a shit. Just
That's what he said. Yeah. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. Basically,
I don't know. I think
Yep.
he does. Andy talked this week that he thinks he does have a different gear in the playoffs, which
Well,
is
of
fine.
course that's
I'm all
what
here
Andy's
for
gonna
it.
say.
But if he,
Well, good because he's been stuck in first most of the season.
but if he can do it in this game, I'm all for it.
Jalen Watson, one-handed, broken-handed
broken
interception.
hand. Broken hand.
Did you see his tweet? He's like, guess who got drug tested?
I
this
know.
week?"
I saw that. Random.
Random. Funny. He one-handed that. That dude's a baller, man.
So Pacheco was a 7th rounder. Jalen Watson was a
Yep.
7th rounder. Are we just giving Brett Veach a statue yet?
I think you just trade away all your early round picks and
We don't
load
even
up on
need
We don't. It doesn't
just
matter
own
anymore.
the 7th round.
The Chiefs are trading back into the 7th round. They own all 32 picks in that round.
Rebuilding the roster the cheap way. That is the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can find Brock Purdy in the 7th round apparently.
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah,
I am
Down
just
to the
so
Final
in
Four.
awe of this team. I get. Well, I guess what's your everyone? Let me check in on your confidence level because Carol and Bob did not. Mon Pospinski seemed pretty nervous.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. Like when I wake up probably Saturday, it's really going to start to set in, but I've been pretty calm so far this week because I just keep going back to statistically how hard it would be for the Chiefs to lose to this team 4 times.
Like that's just a.
It's a data point that just
but how hard statistically is it to lose to him 3 times in a row?
Well, see, this
Like
is
we've
really,
already cleared that hurdle. We just have to lose to him once now.
I'm with you. It's fool's math because it's like roulette. It's like, well, it can't hit black 30 times in a row. It can because every time you spin, it's a 50-50 shot. It's not like the shot, deteriorates each time. So it's the same thing here, except for Pat Mahomes. It's in his head that it'll be 4 in a row to Joe Burrow.
right.
And what was it, Burrowhead? I mean, that is the greatest
At least-
fucking. Did you guys see that?
No, I
Yeah.
saw it.
That's the greatest bulletin board material on the planet.
At least call it Geehaw Field at Burrowhead.
I don't know. I'm not there yet where I'm freaking out.
Where are you, Pat?
Well, do you think? I guess let's just dovetail into predictions.
No, let's go around the horn. Like, where are you at with it first?
Well, I think we're going to win. I do. I think that we're like. I think the perception is that we are not going to win. Obviously, we're not favored at home, so that's.
No, a lot of people have us already.
Nate Taylor picked us to lose, so like the local beat writer
saw
for the
that.
Athletic doesn't think we're going to win. I think that makes sense, and it's because of Patrick Mahomes' injury, and because of the fact that we've lost 3 times in a row to the Bengals. But the defensive line of like Chris Jones going up against a shitty offensive line gives me hope, and our ability to run the ball against the Bengals gives me really good hope. And if Mahomes can scramble at all, then I think we're definitely the favorite.
Damn.
If you guys are right about the ankle.
Yeah, Chris Jones is going to be a menace. I worry about the secondary with those receivers. Like if they're all 3 healthy, they're all 3 playing. That's trouble. If it weren't for the Mahomes injury, I'd say like it's a slam dunk. I'm cautiously optimistic. I still think the Chiefs are going to win, but that's me looking at the Chiefs and going, this team can't lose. Then I look at the Bengals and I go, oh shit, maybe they can.
I'm going to go back in time a little bit. Okay, remember earlier on in the year, I think the Bucks were 4-1. They were rolling, and Shaq Barrett gave all that bulletin board material about how we didn't look any different from the Super Bowl team where they dominated us.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything that entire week. There was no shit talking coming out from anyone from this side at all. Nobody said a word. And what do we do in that game?
fucking
Ran over 'em.
Yep.
I think that's what's going to happen in this game from an offensive line perspective. They haven't said shit, and they made a mistake earlier in the year, the Justin Reed stupid comments, and I've been listening to everything these guys have said. They seem locked in. It's not going to be easy, but I don't think they're going to lose on any lack of effort or, motivation.
Well, and you guys
That's
have
for
said it
damn
on
sure.
here a number of times. Like every time we expect it to look easy, it doesn't. I mean, the Raiders game notwithstanding, most of the time you expect the Chiefs to roll, they don't.
Yeah.
So
There was one national guy I listened to yesterday that thinks we're going to pump them.
Really?
Yeah, he's like they're going to beat him by 17 because
What? I mean, I don't hate that, obviously, but
he just
no
was
one-
like he just feels like there's a different level and degree that they're locked in to win this game, and they're not going to let it happen. Despite Mahomes' injury, because he thinks he's going to be sufficient enough to make it work offensively, but really the defense is what's going to shine.
How is their D-line? How's their pass rush?
They got Reader.
Ray Maluga.
No,
They
it's-
don't.
Yeah, they
That's
have
a Pat Clifton-ass comment right there.
Yeah, it really
They have
is.
Trey
I love it.
Hendrickson and DJ Reader, and then the other guy that's escaping me that returned the long fumble against Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty deep. I mean, they're decent, but
They
we're
don't
gonna have our
any-
hands full.
They don't
but
have a Bosa. They don't have
No.
a fucking Chris Jones.
no, but we seem to struggle with Trey Hendrickson, and Reader is a big guy in the middle, but I just hope that they scheme him up. Run the ball.
Yeah,
Screen game.
There's
run
no
the ball.
Aaron Donald in Cincinnati.
What about you, Sarah?
Where am I at?
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna win.
Okay. Well, she's
I'm
the
not-
most confident.
I'm not going into this with. It's going to be a fucking hard game, but it's the AFC Championship game.
Should
It
be.
should be a hard game.
Like, I feel like it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to
Absolutely.
the second part of the fourth quarter, and it's going to be a one-score game. But how often do the Chiefs lose one-score games?
Yeah, not very often.
Right.
But neither did the Vikings until the one they did lose.
Yeah, but the Vikings, they sort of blew up.
They also
at the
had
end.
Kirk Cousins. I would take Patrick Mahomes without legs over Kirk Cousins. Like on one of those scooters that you had in like the gym, you know?
Oh yeah.
He does have an extra day and a half basically to rest it, so time helps.
Did you
That's
see
really
that?
that's such a fucking X factor. It's
It is.
stupid. But I think he looks ginger as shit running out there in
Do ya?
the warm-ups.
Did you see that meme about Kirk Cousins where it said, if I had $1 for every time he missed a wide open receiver, I'd make more money than he does?
That's pretty good. So all right, look at the NFC. Who do you want? Fucking Dak didn't.
Well, who do I want? Give me the 49ers.
The Eagles look more like the juggernaut, yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, Philly looks stout.
That sounds
Philly
too
was
fun,
They've
though.
been-
I want,
they've been the
I want
class of
that.
the
That sounds
NFC
too
all
much fun.
season.
I want the New Heights Super Bowl.
If I had to choose,
Yeah.
it would be 49ers. If I had to pick, it's Philadelphia.
There's something
in terms
more-
of who I think, I should say.
It's a better story. It's more poetic if Andy
Mm-hmm.
Reid goes out and beats the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Kelsey Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Mama Kelsey doesn't have to travel across
Right.
the country.
Plus, like, I don't know, are there passionate Niners fans that aren't in prison? You know what I mean?
Joe Montana.
Did you see
Does
what
he
he
count?
looked like before
No.
that game last week? He dressed like Tony
Yeah,
Hawk.
Yeah.
What?
It
He had
looked
the-
like there were like two shirts that made a baby.
I thought he was in
didn't
his
come
own
out
jersey.
looking right.
No, he
No,
had
what?
black jeans on, Converses.
He had the shirt that was like half button down, half flannel, but it was like patchy.
What?
Whatever.
I'm gonna have to roll the tape back, see if I can find that.
Well,
It wasn't a bad look. It's
Players
just like-
didn't make as much money back
You
then.
don't usually see a guy of that age wearing that. Is how I can describe it.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence's outfit coming into last week looked like something that Joe might have worn, like, going into the 93 playoffs.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, looked pretty sexy.
Well, Joe Burrow's going to come in something just
Joe Burrow,
ridiculous.
he does have that on most of the Chiefs players. Is that dude is going to come out looking notable at the very least.
Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
in a turtleneck, some sort of turtleneck.
Did you see the thing on Instagram where a guy had like edited all the headshots of the NFL quarterbacks, the starters, and transformed them into women?
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
how much he would have to drink to sleep with that
Yeah.
woman. Joe Burrow was like 2 sips.
Oh man.
This guy's good. Do you think he's the second best quarterback in the NFL?
I think he's
is
better
it-
than Josh Allen.
He's top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's got it. But he also is playing on his rookie contract with 3 elite wide receivers. So that's not
True.
going to last forever.
Yeah, you remember how good Kurt Warner looked at the end of his career when he had Anquan.
Tell me
Yeah.
how he looks. Tell me how he looks when they're paying him $60 million a year and they have to pay Jamar Chase $35 and they can't afford a
Well,
good
that's
offensive line.
that's what the GM from the Bills was saying. Was like, yeah, they've built a team, but they built it through being bad, and they had all these high draft
Flipping it
picks.
quick.
I don't want to suck bad enough to get a Jamar Chase in the draft.
Speaking of the Josh Allen stuff, I saw a stat today that I almost sent you guys. His year-end stats Guess who he compared almost identical to? Almost identical, but you'd never hear about the guy. And they were good on offense this year, this team. You're never going to guess it.
Who's Detroit's quarterback?
That's it. Jared
I was
Goff.
thinking the
They're like
Lions.
the same guy this year, but you never heard shit about it.
Didn't Goff way outperform the?
Goff was great
He had
this
like
year.
The
2
Lions?
or 3 amazing games that really pumped up his stats.
But they were good. They're going to be good next year.
They're gonna be- yeah,
That
next
team's going to
year.
be tough next year.
And I mean, their receiver core is amazing, and they just got Jameson Williams back.
They're kind of like, if they had a quarterback like Burrow, they'd be like the NFC version of them. I just don't think he has enough to take them that far.
Well, and they also have the stigma of being the Lions.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
they're
Cincinnati was like that forever.
just true.
What a stupid city to lose to. Cincinnati.
Yeah, you put spaghetti.
Icky Woods, y'all.
You put spaghetti on chili, or chili on spaghetti. Is the
Fucking
spaghetti
gross.
on the chili or the chili on the
Chili's on the
spaghetti?
spaghetti.
Have you never had it? Has anybody here had Skyline?
No, I like how
They're
it all
two
works
separate-
at 8:30 in
Yeah.
the morning every day,
They're-
and that would completely
Yeah,
throw
that
it
would
off.
definitely
Independent
throw a kink in the hose.
dishes that don't need to be touching.
Okay. I
Have
thought
you
was
tried
pretty
it?
Good. Yeah.
Oh, you liked it?
That's like
Yeah, I
at
thought it was
Thanksgiving
pretty
when
good.
you're the guy that doesn't like to mix
It's
it all
definitely-
together. You like your individual sections.
You put a
for things.
pound of shredded cheese on it, a pound of diced onions, and it's fantastic. The cinnamon's a little weird. But
Wait,
you get used
Whose
to
side are you
There's-
on, Pat?
it. No, it's not better than
I'm
barbecue.
sorry. Did you just say
Christ.
there's cinnamon on it?
Yeah, there's cinnamon in this
That's
chili.
fucking gross.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I'm officially out.
If your city's going to throw down on a food,
Well, that's
you
what I'm
could
saying.
You could do better than. I
The
mean, that's
old-
like
name
Boston being
something
like,
you
"Oh
can
yeah, let's
think
get
of.
beans."
When
Yeah.
you think of Cincinnati, is there anything other than Skyline chili that you know of?
Mostly, I confuse it with Cleveland. I think.
Yeah.
When
Which
I
has
think
at least
it's-
LeBron.
When I think it's Cincinnati, what do I think of? Is what you're asking?
Yeah. There's
Welfare.
I think of that song WKRP in
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati. That's
right?
literally
That's it.
it.
You
That's
know,
all you
I
can think
always
of.
thought turkeys could fly.
You want to hear something grosser I heard this week about like concoctions of food? There's a brewery. I think maybe they're local. They created a Hormel chili-based Pilsner beer.
Oh, God.
That just is diarrhea in a cup.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's one thing you just don't do. I mean,
With like a
Is it
Vienna sausage garnish.
That's
like
like-
it was Nate Bukaty on 810.
spicy beer.
That sounds like something somebody would
Or
say
no, it was
to
Vasco.
to demonstrate that a beer's gone bad. Like, oh, it smells like Hormel chili.
Well, I guess Sam Adams has just when you go to their brewery in Boston, they have some beer that tastes like a steak. And it's like I like my steak
Putting your
cut
food in
up.
a blender.
Yeah, not down my throat.
Were you guys
and
tempted to buy
liquid
$3,000 tickets to this game?
form. No.
No.
Did you
Absolutely
see?
not.
I mean,
I
I
saw
feel
it.
like it was like eBay this week, like cheese tickets, the resale market, where you see someone, oh my God, that box of cereals worth $6,000, and then you like 30 people have posted that price, and then you see that no one's ever sold it for anything more than 99 cents.
I've seen a couple on Twitter that have been they're selling them for face value, but only to people here.
I love
Like
that.
you have to tell them what high school.
Buy
you went to.
local.
Oh, really?
That's
Buy
kind of
and
good.
sell
I
local.
don't mind that.
Yeah,
but,
I like that.
You know, not giving your tickets away to a Bengals fan. That's
Right.
fine.
Probably a dumb question, but do you think weather's a factor at all? I mean, Buffalo
it's
is
gonna
be
snowing,
cold
but
and
it's going to be
shitty.
cold as shit.
Oh yeah, that's when the cold front moves. Because tomorrow it's supposed to be like 45.
What was the game earlier this year? Oh, the Seahawks game, where they were out with their shirts off and it was like 4 degrees.
Oh yeah.
How'd that work out? Yeah.
But it's not. There's not supposed to be like snow or sleet or anything.
Gary
happening,
Lee's
No,
right?
said
it's just
there
gonna
is
be like low
there is
20s.
one model where we might get some.
Oh fuck! I
Some
thought he
light
was
stuff.
retired.
He does, but he still does the.
What is he doing it from his garage?
And I don't know.
All right.
I know Snow Game Pat's great. Joe's is he from Ohio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably good at snowball.
Joe Burrow?
yeah.
He played his college ball in Louisiana
Yeah, but I think he's from,
He's from
originally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but yeah, whatever. We need to run the ball, and we need to get in Joe Burrow's
We can
face
do
with
it.
our test.
Oh yeah, if there's any weather at all, then Mahomes is a pocket quarterback the entire game.
I found
Yeah,
myself
that's
in
true, too.
that Jags game yelling at the TV that they weren't giving it to Pacheco more because he was clearly getting in the groove.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
Especially
but-
late in the game. I thought
Oh
that
my
was a
God,
fucking
yeah.
mistake for
But
Christ's sake.
again, this is Andy Reid. He's gonna hold some back, especially if he has a lead.
Well,
I hate.
there's going to be
I
a
hate-
point where we play a game and he should have ran the fucking ball more and we lost. lost and we got eliminated, and we can't say he's saving it anymore, and we just have to come to the grips that Andy Reid is like a passaholic, and it's to an errand.
He might be
errantly so.
He might be forced to this week. He might be forced to run the ball because we don't really
Well,
know.
let's see if
at
he
the end
does
of the
it.
day.
Probably
that's
be a
the
good thing.
That'd be like saying I'm forcing Marty to throw it on first. You know what he does? He fucking runs it anyways.
I don't care if that's the case. I just want us to be efficient, and I want us to not turn the ball over. And if we can do those things and get some stops on defense and get to Burrow, I give us a really, really good chance of still winning that game.
How good did Mahomes look before the ankle went dead?
Amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, he was under fucking fire every single play.
He was
Yeah,
locked in.
it looked like the
Let's talk about
Bucs.
playoff Pat.
It looked like the
Yeah.
Bucs Super Bowl,
Yes.
except people were catching his throws.
Yes, and he didn't have as many people on top of him while he was releasing the ball.
Their whole team looked locked in that first 20 minutes. I mean, and then when that happened, it was deflating. But they pulled it out.
If
You know what
we-
pissed me off is they kept showing the injury.
Same.
Yeah.
It
Like,
was.
I saw
why
it
are
the
we
first
showing
time,
this?
and they did not
Did
let
you
up.
guys think it looked intentional? The
No.
more I watch it, the more
tackle-
intentional it fucking looked.
I thought it was dirty.
The tackle was dirty.
When
I think it was. I really am open, very open to him intentionally going after Pat's.
Okay, so since we're talking about that, do you think Cincinnati's going to be doing shit like that?
What? It's
Do you
the
think-
tale as old as time. It's in every Disney sports movie ever where a kid had a bum ankle that the bad guys went after it. They should.
Do you think there's anything to the guy that the Bengals just picked up on waivers from the Chiefs?
Because he can't talk to them until after
can't?
the New Year. No, it's not. You can't do
Okay.
that. And
Well, you can't. They all do.
no, but that wasn't the plan. Veach had.
You sent me that video
Yeah.
of that agent talking about like, yeah, it's technically not allowed. We all do it. Everybody,
Well,
everybody tampers
it-
all the time.
That wasn't the plan. The plan was to cut him and put him on the P squad and to elevate somebody, and then Cincinnati
Melvin
just
Gordon.
pulled a dick move.
Yeah.
And wait, we have Melvin Gordon.
No, we don't.
Still on the practice squad, don't we?
He went to the Saints,
Okay.
didn't he?
Anyway.
Or the Dolphins.
Yeah, never mind. Different Gordon.
Yeah.
About. Let's do scores.
All right.
So Jordan and I tied on this one.
Okay.
So
For losing, you tied to lose.
no, we tied to win.
Oh damn.
On the Jags game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zizz,
I thought
because-
you won it.
This Jaguars.
Well, we have to do.
Also, if you're a grown adult and you say Jaguars, go fuck yourself.
Why? What's your problem with
Dude,
that?
Chris Collinsworth does it all the time. Like, how has nobody corrected this man?
because he says Jaguar.
You would think with his voice.
Are you
that
shitting
one of
me?
Jags.
So what is the proper
Jaguar.
Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Oh.
Oh.
Speaking of
Not
that,
Jaguar.
I did.
Or Jaguar if you're listening to the.
Sure, fine.
Okay, all right.
How about you just say
No issue
Jags
with
so we
that.
don't have this fucking problem?
There was
Exactly.
some
You just want a
graphic
hard R at the end.
somebody in Cincinnati put together this week of a tiger trying to pounce on the wolf or something like, and they put a picture of a jaguar instead of a
A what?
tiger. Yeah, they got the wrong animal. And everybody's
Did you
like,
see the one of-
that's not a tiger.
Did you see the one? I
It's
think
got spots.
NFL Network put this out. It was a bunch of jaguars stalking Arrowhead, and there were some like walking through the corn to get to Arrowhead Stadium.
What?
And I retweeted it. I was like, "That's
Well,
offensive as fuck." You think Arrowhead's just surrounded by cornfields?
Yes, they do.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
What is that tall weedy grass that they have out there?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
It's just
That's like a specific kind of grass that they landscaped around Arrowhead that isn't
It's just-
indigenous to
hay,
our.
just a hay type of.
Yeah, I think it's just prairie grass.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's like-
native prairie. It might
But
be
mostly,
hills, prairie
mostly
grass.
it's parking lot.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get that right.
Some of that's native. Some of it's native.
Okay.
Take it to the outdoorsman. Yes, that's
All right.
probably been there forever.
All right.
So, are we ready?
Fine.
It's 6-5-4.
So I have to literally.
Zero.
The Chiefs have to go to the Super Bowl, and I have to get everything right to tie.
Correct.
Okay, great.
So, okay, I'll
Margin
go
of error
first.
is thinning.
30. Fuck.
30 to fuck.
It's a tough one.
It is 30-24 Chiefs.
Your prediction has no bearing on the actual result.
Sure. Yes.
I'm willing it
34-20?
30 no 30-24 Chiefs. I'm willing it into existence. Jordan,
I'll do 34-20. That sounded good.
No, you can't do the same score.
No, he didn't. I did
She said
30,
24. I'm doing-
24.
it's like a-
You're doing 34-20?
2-score game.
Who?
Chiefs.
Dan, go ahead. I got to think about this a second.
I'm going to say, I don't want to step on any toes, but I already had this number picked out, 27-24 Chiefs.
Okay.
They're going to flip it.
It's, the fourth quarter heroics by Butker. He's going to be the hero.
Harry Butker.
He can sure tackle.
He tackled, yeah.
Tommy Townsend isn't
That was
on the
amazing.
take for the Cincinnati Bengals.
And how about Jarek McKinnon's tackle to protect Mahomes?
Oh,
Did
the-
you?
When he flipped that
My
dude,
fucking
Yeah.
God.
He said he had a Lindelman syndrome today. I'm going to go 31-28 Chiefs.
That Butker face tackle was really consequential, wasn't it? Like
It
we
was
needed
a
it.
season saving.
it
Why do you-
certainly
We would've
saved a
lost.
touchdown.
I'm trying to remember.
Fucking think so.
He did play better, but I think that he didn't have the best two kicks. You don't line drive kick to a guy that's really good at returning because you just give him more time to where the defense has or the special teams has
Yeah,
to come down the field, and that was not a good plan. Don't kick to the guy. I think he was probably trying to kick it high, and he just didn't do it.
I don't see why teams don't embrace the squib kick more often.
Yeah.
Like if you're just trying to get
We learned that,
rid of
Buffalo,
time.
didn't we?
All right. So, did Dan pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, 27-24.
Got them
good.
all.
right.
We're locked in. No more bets.
So everyone picked us the Chiefs to win.
That's what we do around
That's what
here.
we do around here.
This could be the last episode.
This
of
isn't
the
the
season.
dumbest damn opponent show.
Because what we
period.
usually do is just stop recording after the Chiefs get eliminated. So I hope that doesn't happen.
No, y'all should come back and do a lick your wounds episode if the Chiefs get knocked out.
Let's be honest.
Lick your
Going
wound.
into this year, this was supposed to be a rebuild year because we lost our All-Pro wide receiver.
But we never
We
believed
weren't
that.
supposed to. No.
Yeah, nobody
But-
around here thought that.
but
just
look at-
losing Tyreek,
look at where we
so we
are.
have to rebuild the
Well,
entire team.
This ever since Mahomes became a starter, this is what we talk
Yeah.
about. Everyone in the media tells us we're not going to make the playoffs. We're going to go last in the AFC West, and we have to talk about that to start the year.
Well, now we're talking this week.
Yeah,
about
remember?
how we can't beat Cincinnati.
remember how
so-
good this division was?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be the best division in football.
Before a ball was snapped this season, we had the toughest division in football by far, and the Chiefs
Oh, yeah.
aren't looking as good
Russell
as they
Wilson
were before.
had our number, Dan.
Let's ride.
That's right. What are the odds he's the Broncos quarterback? Actually,
Oh,
They're married
he
to
has
him.
to be. Yeah, I'm with Sarah on that. They can't get away from him for at least the next season and a half.
oh my God.
Sean Payton ain't going.
For everything they gave up to get him, like first of all, if you're going to give that much up for a quarterback, build your offense around him.
Yeah.
They expected him to just slot into what they were already doing, and he's not that kind of guy. He's 5'7", and he can't see over your giant offensive line. You're not putting in plays in the playbook that allow him to be mobile. So what did you expect?
That's on the Broncos. You don't.
God,
trade
would
for
you
a
want
guy
that
in-
coaching job? Suckville.
Yeah.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah,
Weren't you guys
Yes,
talking
they
about
would.
that last week? Like, I feel, like they're going to be talking to us. They're going to have to go that far down the
Right.
line to find a coach because anyone who's ever coached football before is like, no.
Well, if they don't take Matt Nagy, I could see something like that happening.
No,
He's been a head coach. They
the
could rip
coach
you
in
away
waiting.
again.
He's the coach in waiting.
I hope
'Cause he
you're
got a
right.
He did not get a fair shake in Chicago.
You think here?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
No.
They drafted his quarterback. Hold up.
All right, you just
We're
started
going to do
with
a
the Bears
whole
guy.
separate episode now about the Bears. No, they gave Nagy the quarterback he wanted. They didn't give him the tools that he asked for.
There it is.
But I mean, the
So
Bears have
Nagy
been.
didn't want Mahomes. Is he at fault for the Bears not drafting Mahomes?
He picked Trubisky first. So you tell me.
Oh,
But he took you.
And
guys,
the Bears traded up to get Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't they go to the playoffs that year after? He
I'm
didn't
trying
have
to
a
think. It
losing
was
record, right?
2018, I think, the last time the Bears went to the playoffs.
And that would have been the.
That was the double doink year.
Yeah. The Cody Parkey year.
but
Yeah.
I don't understand. So Matt Nagy is the guy who gave Pat Mahomes the fucking answers so that we could draft him, but he picked Mitch Trubisky over him. That sounds like maybe someone else in Chicago had a hand.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, and it was the GM. I think it was Ryan Pace at that point.
No,
They were both married to Trubisky, and they both got
Well,
sent
that's
out
the
on a
conflict of
rail.
interest.
Ryan Pace came from here.
Yeah.
Ryan Pace came from here.
But he was
Kansas
the
City?
GM for the Bears at the time.
No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't draft Trubisky.
Well, then I'm thinking of the previous GM then.
Yeah.
George Hallis.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan
it
Pace.
was
has
George
been their
Halas.
Yeah, it was
Papa
Virginia McCaskey that made that call.
Ryan Pace has been their one.
Well, thank God.
But-
all I'm saying is I like him on our staff. I think that he helps our team significantly, and I think he will get
Yeah.
poached for a head coach.
I-
Like he's
well,
potentially.
and he never had a chance in Chicago because the Bears gave up on their offensive line after the 2006 Super Bowl against the Colts. They had a chance to rebuild the O-line then. They failed to do so. They've sucked ever since.
Look, it's hard to replace John Tate.
Yeah,
It took us a
exactly.
long time.
You know.
Yeah, we knew.
Yeah.
I used to trade John Tate a lot in Madden. Just saying. All right, last question for
Okay.
everybody. Who is your pregame MVP? Like, who is the person that you like?
I like this question.
You would.
April Harrington. That's where I pregame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And during the game, or do you leave?
Yeah, I leave and come back. No, finish your question. Go ahead.
Who like pregame,
Pregame.
now before the game starts?
MVP.
Who is the person that you think is going to pop off, or like you're expecting to, or want to?
Offense or defense? Or
Just pick a person.
I'm gonna do. Let's do 1 and 1.
All right.
Both sides of the ball.
Okay.
Offensively, for me, I'm gonna say Juju.
Weird.
Defense, Juan Thornhill.
I picked the same. I picked Thornhill and Pacheco.
Is Snead healthy?
Yep.
Okay, then it's going to be
His
Snead.
injury was listed as
Oh, no,
his
no.
nose.
Changing my answer to Willie Gay.
Oh, I like him so much.
I'm going.
Would you, did you go Gay for him?
I would. But your dad was telling me today that he was like the Achilles heel, that there's some analysts out there, and I believe this, because McMurray says it too, the Bolton's awful in pass coverage, great in run coverage, or in run stopping, but terrible in pass coverage, and that the Bengals have shredded the shit out of us in the middle of the field, and it's largely our linebackers and coverage that have been the problem. But I'm going to go on defense with L'Jarius Sneed just because he does so much. And then I'm going to go on offense with 88, whose name I can't remember, but is my favorite tight end.
Jody
of all time.
Fortson?
Jody Fortson.
It was
Tony
an
Gonzalez.
elbow. It was an elbow.
I saw him.
He's right there.
Yeah. No, the real 88. I'm going to go with Jody Fortson.
Good.
Surprise play.
You do love that man.
I do.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Okay. Pacheco on offense and Chris Jones.
Good.
Those are
I'm surprised
all
you're the
solid.
first one to
right.
pick him.
We win.
Yeah. All solid choices.
Super Bowl.
Chiefs.
Checo just gets like 150. You know?
Oh, bring it. Just keep talking that good shit all week. That's what I